Did you know that during your cycling, it's actually your calf muscles that are having to, in relative terms, work the hardest out of any other muscle in your body? That's right. So out of any other muscle, they're having to work the closest to their maximum capability, whether that's when you're going steady or whether it is when you're sprinting. So what does this tell for you as a triathlete? What's important? It shows, first of all, there's a potential injury risk there because of that. And as we know as triathletes with our running, the injury risk from running to calf strains is also relatively high. So by increasing strength through that area to increase its maximal capacity is going to bulletproof us completely better as a triathlete across the board. But secondly as well, if this muscle is so important as well at contributing towards putting force into the pedal, if we can see some gains in the amount of force and strength we can put into the pedal, it should also have the bonus additive effect of just improving that little bit of extra wattage we can put through there for whether it's those hills or sprints when we want it during our triathlon. So we know from science when you're pedaling at a steady speed, you'll be using around about 10 to 15% of the maximal amount of force available in your calf muscles. Compare that to your quadriceps, where we'll be using around about 5 to 7%. Even during all-out sprints, we'll still be using about 55% of maximal capacity in the calves, and then round about probably 45% in the quadriceps. One thing to bear in mind though, that doesn't mean that your calf muscles are more important for producing power and should be more valued for strength training in comparison to things like quadriceps, glutes and hamstrings. And the reason is when we look at things in relative terms, so looking at the amount of force or let's say power output those muscles contribute, in absolute ways and not as percentages in relative terms, we know those bigger muscles, calves, hamstrings and glutes, will contribute a greater amount of power. That's why they are fundamental. But what we wanted to show with this is actually the calves have to work incredibly hard, and it's one reason why, first of all, calf injuries can happen with cycling. But in triathlon, when we look at it more holistically, one of the reasons why calf injuries can be high from running, for example, isn't just because of the nature of running and those ground impacts, but if our calf muscles have worked incredibly hard during cycling, then the next day we go into our run and you've got a history of calf injuries and you haven't got enough strength in that region, it would also explain one of the key ingredients as to why maybe you're having reoccurring injuries.